Good afternoon. My name is David Huffman Jr. We are here today with another video lesson with the student by the name of David Huffman Sr. The last video lesson that we did with him, we did short game with wedges. We hit some light full swings and we hit some pitches. We were trying to take his hands out of the swing and flatten his golf swing. The student is starting to feel some improvements with flattening the swing. But we need to work on getting to a better position at the top of the swing, more on plane. The student tends to cross the plane and reroute the club on the downswing, which causes him to be a little bit inconsistent on the stripe and the ball flight.
Pretty decent. It wasn't struck flush, but it hit well enough. It's better than what it had.
Still have the same target as earlier?
Yep. It hit kind of weak,
A little heavy?
Yep.
Okay. So as we've talked before in the past about trying to get the club more in a consistent position at the top of your swing, what we're going to try to do is get that club to travel, get above you, and stay at a consistent spot. So go ahead and set up to the golf ball for me real quick, and I'm going to try and walk you through the path of the club. Here we'll travel on. So if you come back to this first position here, good. If you notice here, the club is even with your body, or right, and that's slightly behind you from here. When you lift the club up, transpires and points to the right. So go ahead and start back to that position again. The club head should stay just slightly in front of your body, or even with your hands, one or two. We never want to get it back here because you can already see that the shaft's pointing over there.
Yeah.
So when you come up, the shaft will be pointed over that way. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and put your hands back on the club. All right, so from this position here, the club will then go up to the top of the swing. You'll start to hinge your hands and just rotate your shoulders to here. Now, that position here obviously allows us to still keep that shaft angle point down at the ball line, but also allows you to keep more separation between you and the club, which is going to be a more consistent traveling path. All right, so go ahead and try to emulate what I just showed you, not with hitting a golf ball, but yes. Hold on. There. Yep. Good try. Good try. And you have a 6 iron, right?
Yep.
Alright, so here's what I want to try with the golf swing. It'll help you with your plane of your golf swing, but also help you with some consistency. It's going to feel really awkward to you because this isn't something that you're used to doing. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this club, I'm going to fold it up slightly. We're going to put it underneath your right elbow, right arm, okay, like this. Yeah. If you put this on your right arm and take the club back, this elbow stays down, and therefore the shaft angle will stay tilted. The way that this shaft angle gets so steep in your golf swing is because your elbow comes up
Yeah.
like this. You're lifting the club up, that's where the towel would fall. But we're gonna switch clubs while we do this. We're gonna switch to a 9-iron because it's a little bit of a shorter club. It's a little bit easier to hit. We're gonna try and tuck definitely to the right over. Take some practice swings first. Pretty awkward. That's good. You ever done anything like this before?
Nope.
Okay.
I think years ago I might have put a head cover over it. Feel the towel coming out.
Try to remember to keep your swing a little shorter than what you're used to.
Okay.
We're not trying to hit this for distance, we're trying to hit it for consistency. So when you put the club back,
Yeah.
if this is only as far as you can go, that's all we need to go. Right
Okay.
elbow stays down, left arm stays extended away from your body.
I can do that.
There you go. That was a good try. That was a good swing length.
That felt pretty good coming off the club.
See if you can do one more just like that. I'm going to video that one and show you what that looks like. That's it. Let's get one more video.
Flight number 1T, the second landing group. On deck number 1T, Hembo Foursome.
Shafting and stuff pretty steep there. Elbows still pull a little more into your body.
I hit it left, I hit it pilot. Before that, I hit it straight in the target.
Move the towel and see if you can hit the shot a little bit more consistent without the towel underneath your arm.
Right at the target.
Yep. That was hit pretty well.
Felt pretty good. Felt like I might have barely bounced into that one. That one hit just fine. That one's good and crisp.
Keeping that elbow down, we talked about last week trying to eliminate moving parts.
Yeah.
Keeping that elbow down keeps the swing into your body as opposed to lifting the club up with your arms and having to reroute it and get it back into your body.
Okay.
So what this will help you do is gain consistency because you're staying what we call compact.
Okay.
And compact will help you swing the club more with your chest and your rotation as opposed to with your arms and your hands.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's switch back to your 6-iron and let's see if we get any improvement out of the 6-iron.
Right over top of the target. I felt the club go. I felt the club go inside, and my hands, my forearm took over.
elbow to the top of the swing and hold it. Good. Good.
That's dead at the target, and that's a little more power. Good.
You feel like you're really straining to keep that elbow down?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a thought process.
Okay.
I've got to get it to where it's just a natural movement.
Okay. And you feel like you're gaining some consistency out of it?
I feel more control of the club,
Okay.
and which should give me more consistency, I believe.
Okay.
Now, the thing is just getting in that position each and every time is, it's going to take.
Yeah. I'm gonna video this one more time so you see what you may or may not be doing.
Not been in that position in a long time, but it feels pretty good.
Doing it as much, but it's still doing it. Okay.
Yep.
So pretty difficult to do, but you're just by keeping your elbow down, it's giving you a little bit more of a chance. Okay. But we still have got to get the club. See that? Yeah. We still have to get the club to go back here and stay here. You're getting the club back here. You can see that in the video. The club's over here like this. So therefore, when you swing, the club's going to come through open, or you're going to slightly flip and hit that. Draw.
I'm feeling a little pressure on my neck.
Okay.
I do have a neck, I'm fighting a pinched nerve today. But, I feel like I'm getting it, even though it doesn't look like it on the video, it does feel like I'm getting a little more extended off of me.
Okay.
Or maybe it's not so much relaxed back there now.
Well, that's probably what it is. It's you probably moved it maybe this much.
Yeah, not
off
very
of you.
much. Yeah.
Right. But you'll have to keep working at it, right?
Keep moving it further.
Yeah, because it's not
Okay.
going to happen. I had an instructor once tell me that he said that if you asked a student to change a foot, they'll only give you an inch. So I'm asking you to change where your club is at the top of your swing, a foot. It's over here to the right,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, let's move it back, move it back, and you're moving it as much as you can, but you've only moved it an inch.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you ask a student to change something, it's not going to change like this.
Right.
It takes progressive work, and keep continuing to try to move it flatter and flatter. Now here's what I want to do on this next one. I want you to take the club back really slow, get the club set up above you where it should be, and then slowly come through and hit it. We're going to do that a few times off of the tee. Remember to get the club up above you. Right elbow stays down and the club stays back behind you.
That one felt like the club was back
Yeah, that one looked like it was.
behind me as far as I can get it for now.
It's the same thing. What are you starting to notice about the shots?
Getting higher.
Right. Great example. So students starting to notice that the shots are starting to come higher because the club's traveling more on a flatter plane as opposed to just driving straight down and hitting so far down on the golf ball. You're going to notice the club's going to travel more along the ground. Also, notice that you're starting to hit it not as big as divots.
Yeah. That ball was hit well. It just spurted out to the right.
Okay.
I don't think I finished my release.
Elbow came up again there pretty good.
I can feel it.
Sit back up. All the way to the top of your swing, keeping the right elbow down. All the way to the top of your swing.
On deck number
There you
1B,
go. This stays down as best as
Tom
you can.
Hand
Okay?
threesome at Summers.
Pretty close.
Pretty good. It's right at the target. I'm aiming for that little bucket out there, or whatever it is.
Yep.
I got slid into that more than anything. That's the furthest ball I've hit. They come off club really well.
So we have to just keep working on this position, okay? Continuously trying to work on getting this elbow down. Taking this towel, you should be able to walk in and hit some balls with a towel underneath your arm.
Okay.
And I'm going to demonstrate that for you real quick. Where the right elbow stays down. And the club will stay flat. Keeping this elbow down into your side is going to help your swing be more consistent because it eliminates a moving part. You're going to hit the ball more with your chest. And then from this point, the right arm still stays into your side, but extended to the target. And that helps get you to your accuracy and your power.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. I can work with that.
Okay. So this is a drill that you're going to try to do. If you come out here to hit a large bucket of balls, I would say half of them need to be hit with a towel underneath your right arm,
Okay.
to eliminate this swing plane problem that we have. The swing plane problem that you have is that the club is coming across the line here because your elbow is coming up. If you get this elbow down, the shaft should sit back behind you a little bit better and be more on plane as opposed to what we call across the line at the top. You ever heard that before?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly what it is.
And that shot right there is the definition of what I'm trying to explain as far as, you know, barely missing it.
Yep.
Okay, now we're striding to try to get to a perfect golf swing, which is, you know, difficult to do.
Right.
But when the club gets slightly across the line at the top, when you swing, the ball is going to go slightly to the right. Now that shot was only about 5 or 10 yards right of your target, but that's what I mean eliminating that.
Yeah. Okay. I understand fully about the ball. The club coming in inside too much and taking the ball out.
I'm gonna
We got a quick drink here.
all right, I'm gonna have you come over here and we're gonna show you a little drill you can also do to help flatten out your swing.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is a little bit of a demonstration to try to get you to feel to flatten the club and keep the club back behind you.
Okay.
You can do this at home, or you can do this at the golf course. Obviously, this is where we're at, and we're going to use a golf cart as a prop. So what I want to do with you is try to get you the feeling of flattening the club and keeping the club back behind you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you stand right behind the back of this cart, okay? All right, and go into a golf position like you're going to hit a shot. Okay. Now from this position, I want you to look over your right shoulder. Stay right here. Look over your right shoulder and see the top of this cart here.
Yep.
I want the club to come to that point. All the way up there. That would be too steep. There you go. Keep missing it. There you go. Try it again. Good. Good. Okay, so you can feel how much you're having to stretch back, right?
Okay.
You're not used to that.
No.
So if I step in here real quick, just to switch me spots. When I take the club back, getting to this point is relatively easy for me. Okay?
Okay.
Getting back there. And then obviously when you come through and hit the shot, you're going to come over through this other side and touch that other top of the cart.
Okay.
Can you try that again real quick? To this point. Good. And then come through. Very good. Keeping the club back behind you. Now you could do this maybe on a wall. You would stand a couple feet off of a wall and let the club come back and touch the wall back behind you. We have a white swing planer off in the distance over here to the left. That white swing planer would also be something that you could get on and try and feel the club traveling.
Okay.
But I really don't like that for you. The reason being is because that's kind of guiding you.
Yeah.
I want you to kind of feel like what you have to do to get the club back behind you.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, good demonstration.
Very good.
All right, good. Let's go up and hit some more golf balls. Because of your waist and because of your elements, you want the club to travel more flat and flat. So that way you can swing the club more along the ground. Not too many bigger guys want to get the club straight up and down. That's really kind of flat. Take a practice swing first. Trying to feel like you're reaching back to that cart.
Applying number 1 to be the middle quarter time, on deck number 1 to be Adam Sports Zone.
Keep feeling like you're reaching back for that cart. You got to reach all the way back. 'Cause remember how you were missing the cart to begin with?
Yeah.
You want to make sure you don't miss the cart on this swing. Not bad. All right. All right. Get you set up a little bit of a station so that we know you're hitting it, okay? Looks like you're lined up a little bit further right than what you were to begin with.
Aiming a little right.
It looks like you are aiming a little.
Oh, okay. Very fast.
Focus on the elbow staying down. Excellent. Means the ball started right on line. Set up to the golf ball. I'll change one thing about your grip and your setup on your grip. This hand off. I made a mention of this before in the past, just a little bit stronger with this hand. This hand is going to sit on there a little bit more underneath like that. This wrist tends to raise it up on you. Go ahead and take the grip on it. I feel like this is kind of bowed out, like towards me. Yeah. More like that. There you go. So it looks to me like this hand gets kind of high, like that. Should sit more flat like that. There's a little bit of angle here. You can see the difference. How this arm's kind of coming up. Yeah. It's kind of looks like to me. Okay. Should sit more down like that. There you go. It looks better. Good. So how do you feel like you're doing?
I feel like I'm making progress. I feel like I got a lot of work to do.
What do you notice about the ball flights when you're hitting it good?
They're higher and much more crisp.
Okay.
And the ball flight is what I expect it to be.
So everything we've done so far, with these irons, what do you think is the most important thing for you to change?
You get the club mostly off my neck, is a lot, and increase my flexibility going back. But like we've discussed, I've got 2 tears in my right rotator cuff, and I've got pinched nerve in my neck that's bothering my right side. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of difficult for me to push it out there. Yeah. But once we get them addressed, and then I think that I can get the flexibility back. Okay. It's just a matter of working on it, and just changing something like that takes time to do. But you really gotta focus on it. And for me, playing golf, it's hard for me to focus. I just want it to be a natural golf swing. Yeah. So I've got myself in some bad habits, and I got to get out of them. So when you come over to the range, I made a mention of hitting half a basket of balls with your right elbow down. Keeping that right elbow down is going to help you create some separation, but also keep the club back behind you a little bit more. Okay. From there, I just need you to make a conscious effort of keeping the club flat back behind you, as opposed to lifting it up and getting it over. Yeah, you got to try to keep it as wide as you possibly can. When you get to the top of the swing, there should be width here,
and that width should be about as much of the circumference of a basketball.
Okay.
So that's how big that width should create. When you get that club on your shoulder like that, your hands are very close to your body, and then you have to throw it back out, and it's very inconsistent. It's costing you a lot of power. Great swing. Good finish.
Right on line, right on target. I feel myself slide into the ball kind of quick. My timing gets off a little when I get it back in a certain position. When I start to downswing back, everything is out of sync. Once it gets into sync, when it does get in sync, I hit the ball pretty solid. That ball's good. Right over the target.
All right, last one.
Okay, we'll make it a good one.
So you have an idea of what you need to practice on when you come to the driving range.
Correct.
You have an idea of the changes that need to be made in order to make your swing a little bit more consistent, give you a little bit more power. Do you have any questions about what we tried to do today?
If I can't get that club back in that position, over a matter of time, is there anything, something I can lay across the back of my neck or something to gauge that?
What do you mean,
Because
like
I can't-
increase it?
Yeah. Because my thing is when I get a club up, I may feel like I've got it extended when actually it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm
Like I
worried
s-
about that.
Like I said, practicing where you're on the back of a cart,
Okay.
where that club is touching something, where you can physically or audio hear it,
Okay.
where it clicks it, something like that is something that's very important for you to practice, so that way you know it's happening.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when you're hitting golf balls, the only way to know that it's happening would be with photos or video.
Okay.
But I would suggest if you got into the habit of continuously taking that club back and touching something back behind you with it, that would help. And if you did that repetitiously, that would ingrain that.
Okay.
But during the full swing, there's really nothing that's really going to be able to tell you, okay, this is happening unless you video it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good question.
I can't think of any other questions. My hand, I'd like for my hand to return back natural. And there's times, where I feel like I was telling you a minute ago, I get out of sync, and then all of a sudden it seems like my hand and my forearm is going to take over the shot.
Yeah, I think that if you take your grip and set it up the way that I showed you,
Yeah.
that's going to take your hands out of it. Ben Hogan used to say that if your hands were weak on the club, our hands are weak, you'll hook it.
Okay.
And people would say, well, why is that? Well, better players know that their grip's a little weak, so then they'll flip.
Okay.
So if you strengthen your grip a little, okay, it's going to give you a little bit more of a solid feel and a little bit stronger feel. So when you hit the shot, you won't feel like you have to flip, because you'll know that your grip's on there right and it's going to release.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
It does make sense.
So
I've had a weak, I've worked from a strong grip to a weak grip for years on strengthening or actually weakened my grip because I had such a motion through the ball that it was snap hooking pretty bad.
Well,
and back in the day,
snap
we'd would weaken our grip slightly in order to hit the ball.
snap hooks can be controlled with a little bit of the grip, but it's typically because of a bad club path.
Okay.
A severe in-to-out club path actually. So if you take that grip and you have it strong and you have a good club path, you'll just hit a little draw or maybe a 5 or 10 yard.
Okay.
Yeah. Want to try it?
Yeah, let's try one more.
All right. Make sure you got a good strong grip. Stronger than what you're comfortable with, I should say. That one sounded like a 10.
Pretty good. But although the ball did, ball cut back slightly.
So just a little bit stronger with your grip. There you go. That looks good. You notice on both those shots, the solidity of the shot was good. The ball flight was okay. It just fell a little bit to the right, but you still strengthened your grip a little, and they both were, mirror images of one another.
I think I concentrate so much on everything on the back end of it, and when I get the impact and follow through, that I'm not following through totally.
And like I said,
and that's why the ball is barely fading off.
Strengthening that grip, you'll get used to it. As you start to hit more and more golf balls, you won't have to think about a release because your hands will naturally do it with a strong grip. When your hands are on there kind of weak, you're going to flip to try to save it sometimes.
Well, that's what I want to get to, is where everything's just a national feel, just a natural feel. Just you stand over, you hit the ball, and you play on.
We don't have any more questions about irons and full swing right now. We'll take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back and do some fairway woods and some drivers.
Okay, sounds good.
You're going to go to that 150 sign that's slightly leaning.
Yep.
So that's where these are lined up towards. And you have your 3-iron hybrid, right?
4-iron hybrid.
4-iron hybrid?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's what I've been doing right there. Ball starts out at target, fades way right, weak.
Did you adjust your grip to where we left off from?
Yep, good now. Right at the target, right soft, and high. That goes to the right. Sure does.
Go ahead and set up. Let me know when you're ready. Ball position here, I would say to touch too far forward with a 4-iron hybrid, okay?
Okay.
Let's scoot it back to this a little bit more. Very good.
Okay.
This is ball. Like this. Just like that, right? And you're looking straight down. You should be able to see these two a stronger grip, which is going to help you start the club face. You definitely need this for longer clubs for sure. Go ahead and set back up.
Bend over.
Okay. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and start over. Stand up, relax. There you go. Changing one thing of the grip. I'm going to change the other thing in a second, but check your ball position. It's getting too far forward again. forward of the middle just slightly. There you go. Alright. Now when you turn to the top of the swing, go ahead and set up. Turn to the top of the swing and hold it. Weight and everything needs to be back over that way. And then you're going to transfer through. Your weight looks like it's getting stuck on your left at the top.
Okay, feels like it. That's why I feel like it's going to the right.
Yeah. And you're getting steep because of that. Stand a little bit taller. Okay. Flip your shoulders up a little like that.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Same ball position, same shoulder tilt. Stand a little taller like you were.
Up on number 1T, Linehan foursome. On deck, number 1T, Cable foursome.
Remember the grip ball position. Stand a little taller to the ball. Starting to come around a little.
A little better. I don't know the process.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit at a time. You know, I'm still working on trying to flatten. I'm still trying to be conscious about the extension. And it's got to get it all in each category. A lot closer right there. Just a matter of swinging more toward the target. That one's pretty good. Wasn't hit really super solid or hard, but it hit well and toward the target. Felt like I leaned into it before I got down.
Yep.
I got down to it.
You tend to get stuck on your left side or take both the top of the swing and hold it. Good. Okay. Gotta make that seam effort, okay? Keep it away from your body. Does it feel like you're making a really big effort to try and keep the club back like this?
It does. I know it's not going back a low, but I think it's my injury.
So you can't do this?
It's hard. You know, I can get the left side to do that. The right side's not gonna work because I got like I said, I've got a tension over my neck, and when I get it in a certain spot, it pulls all that area. And I've got 2 tears in the right rotator cuff, so it's hard for me to get it back on that flatter line, you know, until I can get that stretched out somehow.
When you take the rehearsal swings, how does that work for you?
It's a real forceful
Okay.
deal.
Go ahead and set up the golf ball one time. Hit the club through top of the swing and hold it. Okay. That would be good. Okay. If we
Can't stay stuck.
I know. If we can get to that point and hit just a few golf balls, I don't care if it's half speed,
Yeah.
to try to train you, that's where the club needs to be.
Well, I can get to that as long as that's what I'm focusing on. But once I try to hit the ball, then my focus goes from there down to the ball.
I don't want you to focus on anything other than this right now.
Okay.
Is getting the club to that point. Don't worry about anything else other than that point. Swing was still long and across the line. Like I said, I don't care where the golf ball goes. I don't care if you only hit it 100 yards.
Okay.
But I want the club to just go to here.
All right.
Even like I said, even if you have to do it half speed. Very good. That's closer. There's still a little bit of cross. Just closer. Same thing. Focus on getting the club back behind you and extend it.
Unorthodox, real weak feeling,
Okay.
but that's not what we're working on.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's just a matter of
hit 3 more like this, okay? Same thing you're doing. I want you to try and think. The only thing I want you to think is just get the club to this position here.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to focus on. Yeah.
Just focus on that for the
Okay.
next 3 balls. Even if it's a half swing.
There's the ball I want to hit it. Right there.
Last one. Focus only on that position at the top of the swing. Okay.
A little heavy, but it still felt. What I'm feeling is when I feel like it's getting right.
Come over here real quick.
All this right here is good and tight.
Stand over here real quick for me. Okay. For everything that you do on the backswing, there's going to be an action and a reaction because of that. Okay, so when you come down, you're going to do something totally different. Which, so you made the comment that you feel weak and really unorthodox.
Yeah.
Well, you are always trying to find an extension to the target. You're always trying to say, I want to extend to the target.
That's right.
All right, well, if your arms come across like this and your hands are pointed over there, you've got a lot of goofy things that you have to do to hit the ball. So if I'm like this, I'm going to come open and try to extend, and it's going to be a balloon to the right, wide open club face.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like this, I'm going to
Number
swing
1
left.
C, Cable Foursome, on
Stay
deck
on my
number 1
left.
C,
Okay, I'm going to
Duncan
stay on my left.
Foursome.
Swing left. Now, when you first started with this club, every shot you took was you were stuck on your left,
Okay.
and you were swinging left, and you said, "There's my miss."
That's right.
Full cuts. And the last 6 balls, I asked you to just get the club to this position here, and you did not hit one pull cut.
Right.
What does that tell you about that golf position?
Well, that's what I guess that's where the golf position has to be.
It has to be in order for you to extend and get the ball to go out and maybe draw a little bit. That's how it has to happen. It has to be done with this position here. You can't do it from over here because of all the other things that you have to do to reroute the club. Your body then will, if you're trying to hit a draw, you will then hang back and try to flip it over, or you're going to get stuck on your left and hit that pull cut and feel like you can't draw it.
The 2 balls I hit were really good. Okay, what I felt was really good is when I got myself in the right position in the back. What I felt like, my left side felt like it was torquing, and I could feel it torque. Okay, a lot more. So is that something that I should be?
It's going to be a stretch, yes, because
Okay, well,
when you take your arms up and get over here, there's no stretch.
Well, in those shots there, I don't feel that torque and I don't feel that stretch.
All right,
so is that maybe something that's telling me you're in the right, that helps me tell me you're in the right?
Yes, if that's what you're feeling, yes. Here's what I want you to show you too, is when the club gets over here and you're extended back here, over here to your right, your weight is over to the right. When the club continues to go up and come over, where's my weight going to go?
Go to my left.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why you feel like you're getting stuck on your left side because of that. Your club's going. And with the longer clubs, the greater momentum and pull you're going to have on that, and the more you're going to get stuck over here.
I got you.
So with the shorter clubs, like with a wedge, you're not going to feel it that much because you're trying to stay centered with a wedge. So it's not that big of an issue. But with these longer clubs, it has to be right here, and your weight's going to be on your right, and then when you come through, everything's going to extend to the target because you were here. The extension to the target is controlled from this position. You can't extend to the target on your bad swing because you're over here like this. You've got that swing, or you've got this.
I got you.
Good. Give me a couple more. Yep, 3 more. So that's why I said you have to think so hard. And like I said, don't worry about anything else right now. Get to that position. Everything else will take care of itself. And you've played golf long enough that you don't have to worry about this. If you've trained yourself to stay in the shot, you've trained yourself to rotate, but you've got yourself into a bad position at the top of the swing. So when you get out of that, you're going to notice a big change.
Good height.
So when you practice, you should only be thinking of this one thing right now, is getting your hands in that club to that position.
Second ball carries my target.
A little heavy,
Just a little.
but ball
I can live with that.
flight's good.
Yeah, but it felt good coming through.
Yep.
And I feel like where I want to be at when I'm approaching the ball, and that's something I've not felt in a long time.
Okay.
Bounced into that.
Right. Okay, so that was with the 4-iron hybrid. All right, I want to switch clubs. We'll go to one of your fairway woods, and I'll let you
Go
pick
to
the
the
one.
three-wood.
Okay, go ahead and pick the 3.
That's the one I have the most problem with.
Okay. Okay, so now we switch to your 3-wood, right? What loft is your 3-wood?
I'm gonna say 15.
Okay.
That felt pretty good. I just didn't feel like I finished.
Okay.
But going back felt pretty decent. I don't think I had quite the stretch that you're wanting, but I think I had the flat part.
Up on number 1C, Duncan Foursome. On deck number 1C, Brashear Foursome.
I feel like I'm sliding into it.
Make sure you're doing the same thing as well with the 3-iron hybrid or 4-iron hybrid. Fall over the ball, golf ball. Good. Shoulders square them up. Good. Feel like you still set a little low to the ball, maybe?
Not really low. I feel like I'm kind of, well, taller.
Okay.
Good.
All right, go ahead and set back up and take the grip that I showed you. Good. Remember to stay tall, okay? Shoulders square, like I just showed you. Try. Look like your shoulders are just a touch open at address. Okay.
Rub me on my neck and still got that elbow tucked.
Just keep the shaft down a little bit. So, subconsciously or consciously make an effort to just take the club back to this point. That's it. Only to this point. Okay? You've got to make it just a few swings where the club comes back to there. Okay? That's what we got to do. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about swinging hard. Don't worry about hitting far. Worry about getting to that position. Hands only go to that point there, no further. Just like with the hybrid, okay? Get these last three and then we'll switch clubs to your driver. last two I'm gonna put on a tee. I want you to take the club back, make sure that it's in that spot, and then try to hit the golf ball. So it's gonna just go back to here, nice and smooth, really slow actually.
Okay.
Take the club back really slow to make sure you get it to this point, and then come through and hit it. What do you notice about the ball flight?
A little higher. And, it's pulling left pretty hard. It's pretty tough. It's a lot straighter.
You think that was a pull?
Well, I mean, for 150 it
Okay. All right.
is. But I mean, it's straight.
Okay.
You know, it's just
All right. It looked like it was
the
pretty
target
good.
that I think I'm hitting toward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, according to your lines here, they're left of that 150.
Yeah, they've moved a little bit.
Okay,
So-
so I may be hitting straight.
Yeah, that I was gonna say
Yeah.
that last swing looked really good. Those might have moved a little bit.
It wasn't 2
Yeah.
yards off target.
Yeah. Same thing. Slow takeaway. Get to that position. Good try. Hit one more. Last one, and we'll switch to your driver.
Okay.
Good. Gonna hit it?
Yeah. Hit that a little on the low end of the club, I can feel. But I hit that one much better.
So let's just keep focusing on that theme of keeping the club back behind you, okay? And trying to keep that separation. We want to focus more than anything on your hands staying over here, okay? We want that feeling because your hands obviously get over here and to the right.
Okay.
So we want to try and focus on this, okay?
All right.
And focus on that. So let's switch to your driver. Notice how high I have the ball teed up.
Huh?
Notice how high I have the ball teed up.
Yeah.
And the reason I keep trying to tell you to take the club back a little slower,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop in there real quick, because your swing's really long, right? You can see that. Club goes over here,
Yeah.
pretty long swing. So I'm trying to tell you to take the club back slower because that'll feel like a longer swing.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it's taking you, if you had your timing, you know, as far as like when your body starts moving and things like that, if you're used to taking the club back at this pace and the club goes over here, if I slow you down, this may feel really long to you.
Yeah,
Does
that's
that
my
make
trigger.
sense?
That's kind of like my trigger point. So I got to make my trigger point back where you want it.
Right, but that's why I say if you take it back slower,
Yeah.
mentally it may tell you, I'm to that. You may feel like you're to this point, but you're only to here if you take the club back slow.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want you to take the club back really slow and get it to there and then go through and hit.
Apply number 1T. We're
Notice
here
how
for
high I feel ball teed up.
on deck number 1T. Gilbert, Tucson, and Clausey, Tucson.
About 40 yards left from where I'm in.
Okay. sides that you're going
I'm
on?
gonna far back.
Where do you feel like you wanted to be?
Just right in front of my heel back.
Okay.
In the cup of my feet.
You were almost on your toes on that last one.
Yeah.
Okay, on the takeaway. So I want you to feel like you're more on your heels. Okay.
Okay.
On this next swing, I want you to feel like you're on your heels. Feel like you're on your heels. Stay back there.
More on the target line. Still cutting off just a little bit.
Yep. How about the grip?
Grip just feels strong and awkward. I get used to it.
It's strong and awkward, but still slicing.
Yeah.
Okay. Sit back up. On that when you're ready. You're looking straight down. How many knuckles can you see?
2.
You see if it's there? Okay. Go ahead.
That was my check point when I grip it. I see those 2 knuckles now. See how see how this is cupped? That feels real awkward to me.
It feels awkward because you're not used to it. Try it like that. I just like to hold it to make sure that's that they're got it.
Yeah.
Feel like you're on your heels?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just that is extremely awkward, you know, holding the club like that.
Okay. Show you an example real quick. Good look, Chris.
Yeah.
See that angle? That's unhelpful, bro. Just want to show you that. So that angle you were talking about?
Yeah.
It's there.
Okay. I'm not down there. I'm just saying
I know.
it feels awkward to me. I've got my-
It's when you show somebody that,
Yeah.
it gets a little bit of doubt in their mind.
Well,
It gets rid of it. So it's for as you saying it's awkward, you'll say, okay, that's how it's supposed to be, and it'll feel a little bit better to you.
yeah, well,
because of
that's
that
what I'm saying is that I've got
confidence.
myself in such a bad habit, you know, that it feels
It-
really, you know,
I wouldn't call it a bad habit. It's just something that you're not used to. Try. How you feel like solid wise? How you hitting it?
I don't feel like I'm hitting solid. Floating through the ball, it's kind of bumpy. You know, it's coming through the ball, and I just feel like that the back half, the heel half, is what's actually hitting the golf ball. The toe half is not getting involved in it.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? I mean,
Yep.
you know that because you can tell when you hit a real good solid shot,
Mhm.
and I'm not getting that registered feeling, but I don't think I'm far off.
Okay.
It feels like I give up on the follow through. That feels weak. You know, trying to do everything back here.
Yeah.
I'm not really getting the advantage of it.
Set up the way that I've been asking you to, and then only think about getting your hands to that point. Back behind. Gotta stay flat, short. And you're saying that that's not solid?
Well, I mean, the ball's still jumping off. To me, it's not solid because it's floating off to the right the way it is.
I'm talking about, are you hitting it in the middle of the club face? That's what I mean by solid.
Well, I assume so.
Okay.
I can't tell you for sure. I'm not getting that explosion that I like.
Does because it sounds solid, although the club face is just slightly open. But we can, like I said, if we adjust your grip a little bit more.
Now that one is hit the way I want to hit it.
Okay.
And that one had that feeling that the toe was involved in the golf shot.
There is, distance-wise, there was no difference in those two balls, distance-wise. So what I'm trying to explain is if you come through the shot with the grip the way that I want it, you won't have to worry about that release.
Okay.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain. But if you get the club back here, okay, where I want it, you're also going to extend to the target as opposed to the left.
Okay.
So if you're over here, you're going to come over to the left and hit that full cut. Or if you use my grip and do that same thing, you're going to hit holes that are going left. They won't cut back. But I know that you like to get the club extended to the target. In order for that to happen, it's going to have to be this position here, right here with your hands, back here, club pointed back over this way, and then from there you're going to rotate through and everything's going to be pointed to your target. You know this by now. We've harped on this for many lessons now. So we have to change that position more than anything. It will be a process in order for you to get comfortable to take the club back and get to this point here and be able to hit it. That's all we need, is that right there. And then from here, okay? It's a process. I know it's going to be difficult for you to do, but you can do that.
Give me 2 more balls. Could be possible I got the club teed up too far in my middle of my stand.
Have the
Maybe
ball
back
too far?
Maybe
Too
back
far
just
forward?
slightly, not enough forward.
No, it looks fine.
Yeah.
It's not so much about whipping it inside on that takeaway.
No, I'm just trying to get
I know,
that feel.
I know. But I just want to tell you, it's not about how far you take it inside. It's when you get the club up above you. Go ahead and take the club all the way up above you is the way I want it. So as much as you can, like this, right?
Yeah, let me stretch out. That's extending my shoulder.
There you go. Now that looked good. Yes. Very close.
Very good. And that sound is a little more of a thump than just a slap.
Mm-hmm. Where'd that one go?
Toward the target, it barely cut off to the right. Real close. On this side, the sunshine on it.
Right foot.
Yep, and I'm on my way behind me. Bad spot.
Notice how high I teed them up for you today? Okay. Oh yeah. Right foot,
Yeah,
not facing the
halfway.
target. All right, let's hit one. Now I want you to make that one swing thought on this one. Because you can only do one at a time. Last one. This is the last ball. The only thing I want you to focus on is the front of the foot facing the target. Okay? Go ahead and make the swing we've been making all day. Very good.
And that's it solid, right? That is it's solid, and I can feel the toe come through.
So you can only really focus and change one thing at a time.
Yep.
We've been working so hard at trying to get this club back behind you, back behind you, back behind you. So hard, and you're going to have to continue to work on that.
Okay.
But then, you know, last lesson we talked about trying to use your lower body better. So you have to ingrain that for that half a bucket we talked about hitting.
Yeah.
You know, hitting a half a bucket of balls with the club back behind you. And then when you get to that second half, say, okay, my only swing thought now is in my right foot facing the target. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what you're doing is when you practice, and then when you go play, you just think about your foot facing the target.
All right.
Because you've practiced this so much, right? It should start to progressively work its way back and get into that better position. And then when you go play, you have a one swing thought. Right foot facing the target, that's going to use your lower body and help you extend more.
Okay. Well, I've been telling everybody that I play with, and when I get to hitting it bad, I feel lazy in a golf swing.
Okay?
Just feel lazy in the golf swing, and that probably right foot had a lot to do with that.
Okay.
Everybody said the same thing, no lower body movement. But you know, like
So
I
if
say
you
again,
start-
I have to contribute that to
So if you think about that, okay, when you go play, I'm going to be accurate by keeping the front of my back foot facing the target.
Okay.
And that's how you're going to improve that.
Uh-huh.
You know, as far as being so-called lazy and not using your lower body. If you
Okay.
do that, your lower body has to move.
All right.
And then when you're on the range, you're going to practice on getting the club back behind you and focus on that. But when you go play, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay? You only worry about that foot.
All right.
Sound good?
Yep.
Any questions about this?
Can't think of anything right now, but once I get to practice, that's all I have time.
All right, try to remember the grip and the posture of staying a little bit taller. Okay?
Yeah, I'll have to get that. I'll have to ingrain that because that's very that's a hell of a lot different from what I'm used to.
Okay. All right. Well, try to work on that on your full swing, and then when you go play, just worry about your foot facing the target on your full swing.
Okay.
Good
All right.
lesson.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for
All right.
coming today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.